for homeroom. You need to be there for homeroom. Very important. All right. So we are going to talk today about re-registration because it is that time of year. So if you have an adult nearby who's the one who has their app on their phone or who handles your account, go ahead and grab them, yell, hey mom or hey dad or hey grandma or whoever it is, and make them come over to the computer. I promise we won't keep them very long, but that way you don't actually have to tell them all the information. Otherwise, you're going to have to. So let's take a look. Re-registration 25-26. So we're talking about next school year. So Miss Cookie, do you have anything critical before I release one of our groups for everyone?
Nope.
Okay. So for my seniors, Lily, good question. If you are fully on track to graduate, you know that you're not going to need to be here next year. You already have plans for next year, like college or a job, but you know you're not going to be here. You are ready to go. Your counselors have said green light, you're going to hit graduation this year. You still need to go through the re-registration process, but you say no because you're graduating. It will give you that option. If there's any chance that you're going to need to be here for half a semester, even summer, you do need to go ahead and re-register for next year. So for my seniors who are 100% sure that they're graduating, you can go ahead and hang out, or go ahead and hang out if you want to, or you can go ahead and leave the session. But if you think that you might need to be here a little longer, and there's nothing wrong with that, totally okay, then just stick with us for a little bit and we'll go through this. So just a little bit of background. Because we are a charter school, we're a choice school, then you have to re-register each year to tell us that you want to be here. That's your way of saving your spot with us. Tells us how many kids we're going to have, how many teachers we're going to need, and what we need to plan for you all. So do we need lots and lots of people to help in high school or middle school? What cool classes do we need to offer? This is your time to save your spot. Because very honestly, we can actually become full and you could lose that spot. It's a super easy process to re-register. They make it as simple as possible because we don't want any of you to have a hard time. Rory, it's for next school year. So we're talking about next August. But re-registration opened yesterday. So as of yesterday, there's a new little spot on your parents', it's either in their LC account or on their app that says re-registration. And they need to just go in very easily and click that button. Alex, that's a great question. I'm going to come back to that one because it's important. Once they go into that little re-registration spot, it's called the re-reg portal. They're going to answer a few questions, which are important. We need to know what's going on, make sure you're still living at that same address, make sure that we know what kind of programs you want to be in. They can go ahead and approve all of those parts. And as soon as that happens, then you are considered re-registered. Since I have some good questions going on, if you don't know, I always say go ahead and re-register as a yes, because it saves your spot. That way, if something changes, you can always come back and tell us no later, but you don't want to lose that spot for next year. I always say, go in today if you can, save the spot. Move on, make sure you're good. If things change, it changes. Or like if you're planning on going to a different school next year, you say no. But if there's any chance you want to be here, you need to say yes at this point and then change your plans later. So once they've done that, this is gonna take us through some steps because we want that's exactly what we're gonna do, Devin. We're gonna go step by step what they're gonna do, and then there's gonna be a recording and you can share it. Not yet for registering new students. New student registration opens a little bit later. That is an excellent question. And if I give you my email at the end, you can go ahead and email me and I will send you a notification of when we're registering new students. All right. So the step one, they're going to log in either to their account or their app, depending on what they prefer to use. And if they don't know their login, they can contact Miss Ingram, and she's happy to help them with their logins. And see right here, if they need help, there's a place that says forgot password. I know I forget my password all the time. And whenever I click that, then I also have to click forget username to make sure I have the right username. It's all right there. They will help you out. Then you're going to go ahead and go down to the new little pop-up at the bottom that says re-registration for fall. We try to make this really easy to find. And they're going to click on that. This is going to be in the adult account, not in the student account. Let's be very clear. Once they go in there, it's going to say it's time and say get started. You're going to click the get started button. If they have more than one student, I believe you can do them all at once, but you may have to go through the process for each student. So then once you're in, it asks, do you want to re-register your student? You're going to have 3 choices. Yes, no, and undecided. If you're undecided, I'm going to encourage you to say yes and go ahead and hold that spot. But if you're sure you're not coming back, go ahead and say no. I tell you that very honestly, because if it says undecided, you'll get even more contacts from us. So go ahead and go with that yes. Trust yourself on that. And then if something changes, you can let us know. If you're not coming back, you go ahead and do no, just so we know you don't need that spot. What do you do if your learning coach doesn't have an account? Every learning coach has an account. They may just need help recovering it. So when they get in there, they can do forgot username and it will help out because they had to have a learning coach account to create the student account. Then once you've said your yes, you'll notice the progress bar is about halfway across now. You have to start the re-registration questions. That is going to take you through, do you live in the same place still? And then there's a bunch of survey questions. We need to know where you live, your address, all of those fun things. There's, I think, about 10 questions is there for re-registration. It's a pretty quick process. And then you're going to be told you're confirmed. You're good. We will still need a proof of residency for next year, but we do not ask for that until the end of summer. So that's all they're going to have to do. It'll save their spot. It'll pop up on our end and let us know that you're done. And you'll stop getting all those fun communications about re-registration. If you need help, there is a button to help you out. There's a chat feature that customer service will help you through this process. It's okay. I'm going to go back and answer a whole bunch of those questions. You are asking great questions today. But I wanted you to see the whole process. All right.
And Mrs. Mullins, just so you know, I have been going through and kind of messaging some students, just, very pointed and direct. Some things I've been putting in just the main room for everybody to see. Just want you to know.
Perfect. I'll try to hit the broad questions then. So there is no deadline for when you need to do this. However, the sooner the better, because if we get full, your spot is not saved. Every student has to re-register every year. If you are registering for a different school next year, you're not coming back, we still do ask you go ahead and put that no in. It helps us know to make sure to send you the return labels and to help the process of getting you transitioned, as well as to make sure your records are ready for another school. Because we really don't want you to end up somewhere else and not have your transcripts ready. Our next school year, Jay, starts, I looked at this yesterday even.
August 7th?
August. We're going to go with August.
I can flip too. Let me see. August
Does anyone
7th.
know where you find that? Just saying. Always again, Trinity, always again. I will always ask you those same questions. Our calendar, including next year's, is on our HCCA webpage. The link, Darius, is in their account. It's actually personalized to each student. So the learning coach has to log into their account or into their app. And that's where you're going to find it. So Kiara, if you are a little bit nervous, make those conversations with your family. But when in doubt, for now, say yes. Andrew, I encourage you as a senior to go ahead and say no. You do not have to. We will do that on our end eventually, but it will prevent you from getting all of the emails and calls. And I feel like we get a lot of emails, so. Emma Kate, do you have a question?
Yeah, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me, right?
I can.
Okay, sorry. You said that our parents, when they log into their thing, they'll be able to see the link. Is there like a certain spot where they have to go to find a link? Because I don't know what I'm supposed to tell my mom.
As soon as she logs in, like in your account down the left-hand side, it's got your classes and your schedule.
Yeah.
Hers will be exactly the same, but it'll have something that says re-registration.
Okay.
So right on that main page. That's a great question. So we are a 7th through 12th grade school. Riley, do you have a question?
Yeah, quick question. So, like over the summer before it starts, am I going to be shipping the stuff back because I'm going to be here next year, or do I just hold on to it? I just don't know what to do.
Such a good question. If you re-register, yes, you do not send your computer back. You will not get any form of return things. You will hold on to it and use it again next year.
Okay.
Then we try to keep that a little bit easier.